Okay, we are discussing which chapters, Jody, are we on tonight? Is it 6 and 7 of
Yes,
Multiply Method
I
Book Club?
believe so.
Okay, awesome. We
Six
can.
and seven. Okay, and because missed last week, did Terry give you guys an assignment? I feel like she gave a challenge. Was it something about events?
It was about events, getting an event scheduled, like with someone on your team, or putting on one on yourself, or something like that. Thinking through what an event could be, might be, that sort of
Yeah,
situation.
awesome. Did any of you guys do that? Suzette, I feel like I saw you ask a question in a chat about that topic.
I did. I was putting my framework together and
Nice.
then going through each piece of the framework, just, trying to fill in what should I be doing here? What should I be saying? And so I've never been to, oops, excuse me. I've never been to a in-person event. So being so far away from everyone, I don't have access to any of that. So I was like, I don't know. What do I say?
Yeah,
So just kind of reached out, just trying to figure out, put the pieces together. So
perfect.
yeah.
So you're going to do an in-person one? Is that what you're hoping to?
Yeah, I'm thinking just like because like in the book she talked about calling it like a gut health masterclass or
Hmm.
something. So I kind of thought that might be grab people's attention as
Yeah.
opposed to come to this house party, hear my testimony sort of thing. So
Yeah.
I thought I'd try that little spin, see what happens.
Awesome. I
Yeah,
love that. I just
yeah,
naturally like to tr educate. So
hmm
I always have that kind of bent. I'm like, let's just
yeah,
get to
yeah.
it.
Let's just go. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm a little nervous, so we'll see.
I love that. Well, good job. Good job being brave.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Ruby, have you done an event before?
I actually did like an impromptu one, not knowingly. I was telling Allie that I had a friend come over for some pumpkin carving things, and I just planted seeds. I didn't even have plexus, but I planted a seed. And then today, she literally was messaging me about gut health. So
Awesome.
yeah, so it's so my little stepping stone to that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Well, good. Um, Allie, is your team going to do an event anytime soon?
You
I know
know, I was
it's a
hoping to
big
do one
idea.
in the fall. Erica and I thought that we could maybe get something together again quarterly or something. Hopefully we can do that again. Nothing is on the books yet, as you have seen. She was like displaced because of her home renovations, and anyway, so we're like, well, so we kind of crash landed into that. But on the event front, I have a new sharer that I kind of want to use the framework as a launch event sort
Yeah.
of thing from the book and kind of see how that works. She's not local to me, so it would be something virtual.
Mhm.
But something to where I can sort of practice that sip and see type of format, but on a Zoom or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's kind of where my head went. I was like, oh, I could use this as like a launch event opportunity also.
Mhm.
Um, to not that it needs to be an opportunity, you can do it anytime, of course, but
Yeah.
just the book kind of encouraged me to like, ooh, look at who is newly sharing that hasn't owned an event of their own,
Yeah.
that hasn't like invited specifically to an event to launch their business, and I have a girl in mind for that. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
Awesome. I know when I read that chapter, I was like, we used to do Zoom events all the time for our team and always had people on them. And I was like, I kind of want to go back to those. I love Zoom personally. I think they're great. So, um, I would like to try another one of those in the future. So, yeah. Okay, the chapter 6 and 7. So, six, customer acquisition and retention, how to get customers and keep them. And, I mean, this is so crucial, right? Like it takes so long. It can feel like it takes so long to get a customer. The last thing you want to do is lose them right away. And sometimes, no matter what we do, people are people and they just ghost you or they drop off. They quit on themselves. That's like the biggest problem in working with people is they quit on themselves. Um, and so that's just part of the process. But at the same time, there are things that we can absolutely do. And one of the things my husband always says, because he also has a business and he talks about giving majestical customer service. And that it really is one of the things that sets his business apart is great customer service. Because not every business is good at that. And I'm sure you have some things in your mind that stand out when you're like, that was terrible customer service, or even just, even mediocre. Like you want to do something that stands out, I feel like, and sets us apart. And so that's super important. And there's so many ways that we can do that along the way. And she talks about a lot of different things in here, but I think once we have them, it's so crucial that we do that well. But the other thing that really stood out to me is what she talked about, samples, and do not just give out samples to anyone. And I feel like that. I want to make sure people are going to use them because they're not free. Like it is an investment. And so I rarely just freely give them. I have to know someone's really going to use it. And I even love that she's like, okay, but it's a gift, but are you really going to use it? Or I give samples to new customers too, as a way to try something else that they haven't ordered. I always do that with new customers. So yeah, I'd love to hear for you guys, like what stood out in this. What have you tried? What do maybe you do that is you have felt like this really works, or my customers appreciate this, or this is helpful, like a practical for you?
Something that I've tried to do more recently that this book reminded me to continue is before I go follow up with someone about Plexus, I try to touch on something that's happening in their life. So not just like, did your products come? How are you with your consistency? How's your sleep? How's your craving? Like whatever. Instead of just diving into Plexus conversation, trying to see what's been going on in their life and talk about that a little first, and then ask, or maybe don't ask about Plexus, wait a few days or something and check back in, unless they're like receiving their products that day or something. You know what I mean? Like obviously there's nuances to that. But I think once we get a customer to order, we can be like Plexus, 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 like every time we talk to them. And remembering like they have a whole life outside of this and understanding that, because you can often slip in like product tips according to what's happening in their life. Like if they're traveling or have a big life event or something, you can give them little tips and reminders and stuff to like keep them consistent or make things easier on them when it's really busy. Things that are value added, So anyway, I try to do that often, so that I'm not just like, have you taken your products today? You know?
Yeah, because it makes a difference.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a couple things. The sample, the sample idea of not just giving it away. I do give it away freely, and I'm going to be better about that. The other thing was like Ali said, it's like find something to compliment them about first, because it's not all Plexus. Like you have a relationship with them probably that doesn't include Plexus, and to keep remembering that. And then for me, the thing that keeps coming up, I kid you not, in every single chapter is asking the question, if you could change one thing about whatever, what would it be? And I just love that question. And I have used it a couple times now. And the thing about it is when I use it, I get a response. And so one was in person, so you had to respond to me, but the other one was in a message. And I was like, wow, someone answered that. And for me, I just like that has changed sort of the framework of how I am asking people, like, what do you want to change about your health? Or what do you want, what do you want to happen? What are you looking for? Instead of it's just like, what's one thing you would change? And I can suggest something. So I loved that.
Yeah, I love that too. And Phil Jones often says, leave them with one question. Like we often ask too many questions or not the right one, but that's like the one really good question that usually someone has one thing that they want to change, So that question is so great. I love that one. It simplifies things. I overcomplicate things, you guys. And two, it made me think of Brooke is always like, I just pick my top 3 combos and I always suggest only those. Like we just always start there. For the majority of people, just really simplify things instead of overcomplicating it. I also love that you should always frame it in a positive way. So when she's checking back with her customers, like, what are you loving? Don't assume that they're hating something or something is not going well. I'm always like, oh my God, are they going to have explosive diarrhea? They started with 4 BioCleanse. Legit, I am always like horrified when someone is like, oh, I started like the bottle said. Like, no, but I don't have to ask it that way. That might happen, but don't frame the question to set them up for a terrible answer like that. So yeah, like, okay, assume that they're loving their products. If they're not, they'll tell you more than likely, right? So,
Oh, for sure. One of the things I like to ask is what positive changes have you noticed so far?
mhm.
That's a good one. And when your customers have been on the products for a really long time, sometimes it's like you don't know what to say to them.
Totally. I'm like, how's it?
Sometimes I'll go look at what they've been ordering. And if it's something that they have ordered for like 3 years, they're like still on their triplex or whatever. Sometimes I will ask them, is that triplex still working well for you? Or is it still keeping your, digestion moving smoothly or whatever the thing is that I know they had struggled with? And I'll just kind of frame it in a positive way, but like, is that still working really well for you? Like I see, you've been using it for like years now. And just as a result of this book, actually, I read ahead a little bit the last couple weeks, but I've gotten back into recommending other products. And she was talking about that, like recommend something else, like drip other information to them. And so a lot of people that use Triplex, I love to recommend Vital Biome or X Factor Plus. Like these are really great, like natural next things to add in, just for overall wellness and stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's so good. I was even thinking, oh my gosh, I mean, I've been doing this 10 years, Allie, too, this week for me. And I was like, okay, my whole group of friends that started with me, I'm like, we're in a whole nother era of our life now. And so if they haven't upgraded to X Factor Plus, like I need to make that suggestion alone. Like pretty sure you're sweating at night too, honey. Like I have a suggestion for you. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I've done this a long time. They have other needs now, even if they haven't mentioned them, right? Or restore, because so many of my customers have never tried that, especially the women who've been around a while. So it's a good reminder to go and look and be like, oh yeah, I could offer them something else. Yeah. And when I'm in person with people, I always do that. But the people I don't see, I really need to be better about those kinds of things because naturally it just comes up if I see people.
I think that too could be another opportunity to ask that question again. Is there
Mhm.
anything else that you would like to change? If
Mhm.
so, what would that be? Now that we've tackled this, is there anything else? And then move them. Maybe there's a different product that will actually help that. And then you
Mhm.
could introduce that product.
Mhm.
I was just like, maybe you could just keep asking the same question, just
Yeah.
at different times.
Yeah.
But mhm.
And there is a statistic, I don't remember what it is, so I'm not going to quote it, but it's very high. It's like 80% or something, of people who, like, if they're already loving one product, they trust the brand and they trust your recommendation so much more highly, and they're more likely to try something else. So those recommendations also, we have to remember, I think we forget this a lot, they pad the pay point. Like when people are ordering above and beyond 100 PB, all that is like gravy on top of the pay point. Like that makes our pay point higher. So, um, not like helping people not just skate by on 100 PB is like a business decision that we need to remember. I'm like telling myself that.
Yeah.
Like the more people are ordering, the higher the pay point is. So.
Yeah. And if they have kids, offering the kids products,
Mhm.
you know, or the skin health line. And I'm always like, why not buy all that you can in one stop, like in one location? It benefits you. And I don't know what the new perks program is. They haven't told us yet, but it will be good, you know, and so they earn more products too. So it's also beneficial for them, not just the pay point. Um, so remembering to add on like this is beneficial for you as well. Helping them see that is really great. Okay, anything else on that chapter? And then we're going to move into chapter 7. Since 15 minutes there. I think it's funny. She thinks this is where it gets fun. I'm like, this is where I get frustrated. It's all a mindset shift, right, ladies? I some days love social media and some days I want to crawl in a hole when it comes to social media. It has changed a lot and from when we started, and so it feels challenging to me. So I would love to hear from some of you um, who maybe really do love it or feel like I've got this down, or you feel like you're winning in an area. Um, I would love to hear from you personally, selfishly.
I feel like I'm not winning at it. Like I'm not even in the game sometimes. And I feel like I'm not very patient. You know, they say try something new and do it for like 30 days. And I'm just not that patient. I go a week and I'm like, oh, this is not working. And I have not had really good luck. I know there are people in Plexus who are like, whole team on social media. I have a handful of customers that I've gotten from social media. And most of the time, they saw something on social media, but I already know them in person. And just remembering that that is how I built my team in the beginning was in person. And that's what I'm more comfortable with than social media. I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing ever. Even after all the classes and all the tips and all the things, I still am like, yeah, I don't know what to do.
So on the flip side of that, right when I started Plexus, I moved away from all of my family and friends. Like I was transplanted into a brand new city with a baby and all of a sudden a brand new business. And so everything I needed to do was online. Um, and so most of my business has been built virtually. Um, Even with people that I like knew that I grew up around, like I never saw them in person because I moved states, like move everything, like literally like a month and a half after I joined Plexus. So it was funny. The social media climate, I think, has changed so much. Like every year it changes, right? But what I had to get comfortable with, not that I'm like great at social media, it's just something I've gotten very comfortable with because that's literally how I had to build my business, um, is speaking to everybody online how you would speak to a friend in person and not putting a lot of pressure behind it and not being like, I need to show up like an influencer. I need to have the most groundbreaking post. I need to add like all this value all the time. I mean, I know that yes, having value adding posts is great and that's what people want to read. I mean, if we just put out like garbage content, like nobody wants that, you know? Like, of course, like be thoughtful. But that was something that I had to learn really early to like get over myself. Like that's a kind of a harsh way to say it, but and not worry about like what people think and stuff. Because that's a huge deal. If we're like, how do we appear online and we need to be polished and thoughtful and have these eloquently written posts and can't make mistakes and all this. And if I could say like anything about what has helped me is like not worrying about looking ridiculous. And I think that's what people like to see. Like that's why reality television is so popular, right? Like people want to see the train wreck. I mean, not that people want to do business with someone that's like a hot mess 24/7. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely don't say do that, but it's funny. Like, I'm very uncomfortable in person. Like, I am extremely awkward. I still have a hard time in face-to-face conversations. It's like a sphere that I do not thrive. Like, I do not thrive in that environment. Um, but put me on a Zoom call, have me write some post copy, like throw me in my stories, like I'm fine. Um, it's funny. It's a funny thing, but when you want to use social media to your advantage, it's like you have to get comfortable in those spaces, you know? Um, and one more thing, I won't talk about this for too long, but a lot of the people that I have met online, I don't really know them. I met them in an interest group. I met them on Instagram. I met them from a hashtag. They're a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, you know, like I don't even know them. So if Susie from Montana like doesn't really like me, I don't care. Like I've never met her. I'm never going to meet her. She has no effect on my family or my life, you know. It's very easy to unfriend her. Um, so that's sort of something too where I'm like, you know what? I don't I don't really care. I don't really care what people think. Like, um, I don't mind if some of my posts are flops or if people don't really care about what I'm talking about in my stories. It just like there's a lot of people who do. Um, and you'll be surprised if you start like talking in your stories about like what's going on in your life. People will engage back. They'll like have a conversation with you and because they are, you know, have some of the same stuff or tips or whatever. And so that's kind of fun. Like posting about the mundane actually seems to get a lot of traffic instead of the curated influencer style posts, um, which are fun and beautiful, you know. Like you'll absolutely see me have the cookie cutter Merry Christmas photo with my family. Like yes, I will do that on Thanksgiving or whatever. Um, but all the little funny stuff in between. Like I literally didn't know what to post this morning. Did you see my 2 bananas? I'm like, I only have 2 bananas. Like I literally only have 2 bananas. And I was looking at them like I don't does somebody have a recipe? And like 4 or 5 people commented. I was like, cool. So like you don't have to overthink it.
I almost commented on that.
See? Yeah. I was
What
like,
did you do with them?
I made a shake for lunch.
Okay.
The other one is in the freezer.
I know, I put them in the freezer too. Okay, but this is totally off topic. Do you have the protein Kodiak cakes?
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay, it calls for 2 bananas for the protein muffins, and I was like, she
You should
probably
have commented.
that.
You
I
did
should
that.
see. I overthought it. I was like, she probably doesn't have that on hand.
Yeah, I did. I have it in my pantry.
Okay, my son loves those.
Yeah, we like them a lot.
So
We eat them all the time.
make
We
them up.
make sorry to derail this, but we use Kodiak cakes and then I make like McGriddles where it's
Yeah.
like eggs and sausage and the pancake, the same breakfast sandwich. So it's good. My kids love it. Anyway.
There you go. I mean, healthy recipes, that's one of the things. Or recipes,
Yeah. People love giving advice.
I know, it's true.
Love giving advice.
Totally
Even
true.
like dumb stuff, even stuff you don't even need, like get in your stories and talk about something that you need advice on, or even not really, just like use it for
totally.
engagement. And like for example, the giant blank dining room wall that I've been posting about, like, oh, I have a giant blank wall in my dining room. I already know what's going on that wall, you guys. I like already have a plan for that wall. And everybody was like, put this there, put this there, put the picture, put a family photo there. I'm like, awesome, great idea, you know, and it was just this post blew up. And it's been hilarious to see that. Just I think we overthink it. We overthink it too much.
Yeah.
Like
I
just
know.
use your regular life because everybody else is living a normal life. Like everybody else is not an influencer. So
Totally.
yeah.
I loved all the ideas in here and the question, how can I make their lives easier or better today? How can I encourage, educate, motivate? I mean, those are things that I think about when I'm doing it. And also selling the benefits, not a product. And I always, for years, I've talked about the airplane. We don't want to know the route that we're taking, you know, we don't want to know all the nuts and bolts on the plane. We just want to know that it's taking us to our vacation destination, you know? So beyond that, I really don't care. With the people just want to know, is it going to get me where I want to go, right?
I love that she called out before and afters and testimonies um in there
Mhm.
because it's a good reminder, like those work. I don't know about you, but I slow down and look at a before and after. Like I looked at every before and after of anything, you know? Like I stop my scroll. And so I think before and afters are awesome. And I think, of course, telling our testimony is great, especially in little tidbits, you know, like not telling our life story every time. Like take your testimony and chop it into like 8 pieces and then little, you know, I'm all about that. But people want the social proof. And so just the reminder of like, yes, I love active. And so every so often you'll see me with an active selfie talking about how great active is. But that's not really the thing that like I don't want a customer that only buys active, you know? Like I
Mhm.
want someone who's buying a combo, a system, um, and believes in it and is gonna stick with it, you know? So posting for that and showing a 6 month testimony or a 2 year testimony, you know, like I just think painting that picture in a story with that social proof is big.
Yep.
Most of my customers came just strictly because all I did was just post testimonies. I did it like once or twice a week, and I've totally gotten out of that. And I'm just going to go back because they never cared less. I mean, they cared less about if I posted a picture of a product and talked about all the benefits and stuff. But people who would reach out, I would just ask them, what interested you the most? And they're just like, well, that testimony that you posted, that really grabbed my attention. And even just going back and talking to customers, you know, um, that I've had in the past, what was it that attracted your attention? Well, it was your testimonies that I kept reading. And so I was like, okay. And I don't know why I got away from that, but it's definitely time to start putting those back in. So
Yeah.
it's just, and asking a question right at the top. Say, do you know anybody who struggles with this or something like that? But anyway, yeah, no, I was super grateful to see that as well. It was like, okay. I mean, I already knew that it worked for me. So it's like sometimes you just need that validation, I guess. But
Yeah. And to tie it back to the customer, when we have customers that are loving something, asking, can I share this and
right,
tag you? And not
right,
everyone's comfortable being tagged, but then I
right,
just screenshot it and share, my new customer is seeing this.
right,
So we're asking what they're seeing and we're sharing it right away, even if they don't want to be
right,
tagged. But even
right.
better if they do,
Yeah,
because
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I used to do that all the time. I need to do better about that. I mean, I've got a lot of happy customers who've been taking the products for a while. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years. Like I have like like I have several people who if I even scrolled back in our conversations, people telling me all the wonderful things that they've been noticing and that is like such a good reminder. I literally used to screenshot that and put it in my stories all
Yep.
the time. That's something I used to do all the time, and I haven't done that in a while. I haven't done it in a while. Um, I just had a girl today who's like was PMSing last week, and she's like, "This was the easiest cycle I have ever had. I'm not bloated at all." Like, what she literally just sent me that. I should
Yeah.
find it and
Yeah,
screenshot it. I
Share
there
was
you
like,
that.
go.
"This is great." I was
Yeah,
like, "Keep up your consistency." She was a September enrollment, and she's like,
Yeah.
"I feel awesome," and I should,
yeah,
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, that is a big.
perfect,
Mhm.
perfect. Mhm.
Yep. It's so good. Let's see. Any last thoughts on that chapter? Any
I
last?
just want to say thank you to Ali for like talking about just do the mundane and people react to that because that's something that I've been wanting to do, but it's a little bit difficult. And now that my mom's not here, she's watching my stories. And I feel like, oh, like if I can do this and just pretend like, okay, she's the one watching me, then they'll be easy. Then I can go on there. And I'm hoping because like she said, it's like people just like to watch people's lives. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna test this out. So now it seems like the go ahead nudge that I needed to hear.
Oh, good. I remember years ago, Bob Heilig said something about, I was like listening to some training about social media inspiration or something. And he was like, if you ever don't know what to post, walk around your house. Like walk around your house. What books are you reading? What are your favorite things? Do you have a room that you love? Why do you love that room? Is there a piece of furniture that you love? Do you love your bed? Is there a clothes? What are you wearing? Why did you choose to wear that today? What are you doing today? Like all just turn everything in your life into a question and something will come out of that. And I still do that. I still do that to this day. And there's some stuff that I like cyclically post about because it's like my favorite thing ever. Um, and it still is good. You know, people still comment about it through my stories or whatever. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's social media is a space that I've had to grow in a lot in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and I've listened to a lot of trainings, and I feel like now it's finally a space where I'm comfortable. Um, but it is like just do it. Like if you think it's dumb, that's probably what you should post. Honestly.
That's funny.
One thing that I do like what she said about social media, she said, when I share my product or opportunity on social media, I intentionally avoid using the company or product name. Instead, I share stories and experiences that highlight the transformation or benefits without revealing the exact details. I liked that. It's like, I can't believe how much energy I have. Comment energy below for more info. I don't know. I just hadn't looked at it that way before. So that was kind of a light bulb moment for me.
Yeah, I don't put plexus in everything, but I do name it sometimes because I don't want it to be a total secret. But it is good to make people curious. So, yeah.
I've seen that with a lot of influencers that they don't say the thing. And sometimes I do question, but then sometimes it's like, no, because you're hiding something from me. So I guess it depends on the person.
Yep. Yep. It's true. It is true. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's 7:30. So next week we're going to finish the book. I know it's 2 chapters plus the conclusion, but I believe in us. I think we can read it. I just thought, let's just bust through this book. Let's get her done. Um, it's been really good, so we'll finish it next week. And yeah, I think that's all. But I hope to see you all back next Tuesday.
Perfect. Thanks, Jody.
Thanks. Thanks for recording, Allie. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye.